2020, first video. What would be better than having a look back at the games that came out on the Nintendo Switch in 2019? So that's what we're going to get into. It's going to be my top 10 list. I'm going to start this all again. This is a load of bullshit. Blah 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 blah. Hey all, and welcome to 2020, another decade, and I'm so glad that we're going to be able to enter this together via the wonders of YouTube. As you can see here, I'm in front of a green screen that we got for Christmas. It obviously needs ironing, but still we have a green screen now, so that's going to make the Let's Plays a bit more interesting, since I can just get rid of my background and you can get a bigger me and see my reactions a lot better. So we'll see how that goes, but awesome. We're also filming on a new camera, a Canon EOS 2000D. So I hope that actually improves things. I need to work out some of the settings and that and find the setting that I really want to film in. But I think it's going to be a great year for footage. Anyway, what is our first video going to be? It's going to be a top 10 of the 2019 Nintendo Switch games. There were some fantastic games that came out on the Switch over the year. Obviously, as that being my main console, that's what we're going to talk about. Actually, before we get into what my first game is, this list is my opinion, and my opinion only. It is based on games I've completed, so there is a lot of games from 2019 that I haven't completed or even played yet. So they're not going to be in this list. That includes obviously Vampire. I'll say obviously, you don't know what I haven't played. It includes Vampire, it includes Dragon Quest XI. Sadly, they're not games I've played enough of yet to put them in this list. So we might do a look back once I've played some catch up, but we will see about that. So yeah, Pokemon Sword and Shield. Okay, the trailers and that, the game had graphical looking issues, but let's be honest, we don't come to a Pokemon game for the graphics, we come to a Pokemon game for the experience, and the experience with this game just keeps on giving. The wild area right now, shiny Magikarp, so you can go and get yourself red Gyarados. We had the Snorlax Gigantamax form given to us. We keep getting constant updates. This game is a game that keeps giving. It's great fun. It's fun to play with your friends in the wild area, in the max raids, in the battle tower. It is good fun for content creation. So this game has to be in that list. However, if these top-down, well, it's not even a top-down in this case, but if these RPG games are not for you, the next game in our list is Mario Maker 2. This game is just as good as Mario Maker on the Wii U, but it did give us one thing that we were all begging for, which is slopes. We finally got slopes in this game. This game became just 10 times better because of that. Let alone then, the multiplayer modes, the multiplayer versus, the multiplayer co-op are really good, as long as people who you're playing with do not have crap internet and make it really laggy. Our third game on the list, a game obviously that has to be on this list, is Luigi's Mansion 3. That game I feel is just everything that we've been needing from Luigi's Mansion games. It's got the brilliance of what was in 1, it's got the good bits of 2, got rid of the chapter nonsense of 2, so you've got the full free exploration again. It's just a good game. The multiplayer again here is another good experience, so that's a lot of fun. It's well worth having in your collection. Game number 4 has to be the game that clearly had contracts with the devil signed to get this game onto the Switch, and that game is The Witcher 3. The Witcher 3 has no right to being on the Switch. It is so big, there is so much to do, the game itself is just a great experience to play. That game, I don't know how they did it, I am absolutely impressed with CD Projekt Red. So well done on getting that game on the Switch. That is a game you should have in your collection, and you should basically take a couple of months off from work to complete that game. So that's well worth it. I absolutely am pleased that that came to the Switch in 2019. The next one could be a little controversial for some people, and not for others, but for me it has to be Marvel's Ultimate Alliance 3. The Ultimate Alliance series was a great series. The first 2 games they played really well, and okay, Ultimate Alliance 3 didn't go too far away from that, but still, it's a great RPG. It's on the Switch. You can play with up to 3 friends. The story is good, and the DLC keeps coming. I really enjoyed the game. I'm still going back and playing more of it. I think it's a good game in your collection, especially the bias that I've got and many of you have. If you're a Marvel fan, it's worth it. Next up, for me, it has to be Mortal Kombat 11. Mortal Kombat 11 is a perfect point in the Mortal Kombat series. I have to be honest, the last Mortal Kombat I played until 11 was free, so there was a huge story gap for me. But it plays so great on the Switch. It's good fun to just be able to pass a Joy-Con to somebody else and just have a fight. I've had a lot of combats in work on it. It's just good fun. I really liked it. I think it was a great game. So yeah, that one was great for me. Now it's gonna have to be a bombardment of the indie games. The indie game scene on the Switch in 2019 was just fabulous, absolutely fabulous. So what game do I have to mention if I'm going to be talking about indie games? Well, obviously it's Untitled Goose Game. Untitled Goose Game was just a great laugh. You hopefully have seen the video on it. There was just so much entertainment in it. The fact that the idea just spawned from a text message of a picture of a goose is just brilliant. So House, thank you for that game. It gave me a couple of hours of fun, and I think it's something that's really worth being in the collection. The fact that PC players are getting all uppity about the fact that they don't have it on Steam shows that it's clearly got that cult classic attention there. The next indie game for me is My Friend Pedro. My Friend Pedro was a brilliant little side-scrolling puzzle shooter. I say it's a puzzle shooter because you did have to work out how to kill off all the bad guys to progress out the level. But it was just brilliant, and the fact that you're doing all of this because a banana's telling you, a magical floating banana that only you can see. I loved it. The story was good. So again, that should be in your collection. And it goes for cheap so often. So what is that? So we've done Pokemon, Mario Maker, Luigi's Mansion, Witcher 3, Ultimate Alliance 3, so that's 5 games, Mortal Kombat 11, Untitled Goose Game, My Friend Pedro. So the next indie title is Katana Zero. Katana Zero again, and the second one in my list from Devolver Digital. Devolver Digital. Yeah, it's just so you've got in this game you've got a bullet time mechanic, right? One hit and you're dead. You're playing as a samurai assassin throughout several puzzle levels where you're trying to kill off all the enemies to progress on to the next part. You're being sent off on assassinations, you don't know why. You have these cool little interactions in between combat missions where you can control the story a little bit. It was just brilliant. It was a really good bit of fun to play. I am going to be posting up some speedrun videos for that, so keep an eye out for those. So let's get on to Game 10. Game 10 was just, it was so much fun. It really pulled me in. The game is obviously Garfield Kart. I mean, who wouldn't want to be playing as a lasagna eating cat in races? Is clearly much better than Mario Kart. Honestly, no, I'm joking. I can't keep up with this one. It's Astral Chain, people. Astral Chain. That is a game that you have to have on the Switch. This hack and slash adventure game was just perfect. It was everything that I ever wanted of the game, and I can see how it could go so much further in a sequel. I haven't finished the story yet. I'm not far off finishing the story, but the gameplay has been brilliant. The whole kind of combo of it being a 2-player but not, in the essence of you've got the creature that's basically helping you combat. You can control it a little bit, but you can also just leave it to do its own thing. It's just brilliant. There's a lot of tactical gameplay in it. It's just everything that I wanted out of such a game. So that should be in your collection. So yeah, that's the top 10 games for me that I really liked on the Nintendo Switch in 2019. Let us know in the comments below what games for you on the Nintendo Switch were just, you know, your top 10 or even your top 5. And keep an eye out for our next video, which is going to be looking at the last decade on Nintendo consoles and what our favourite games from those are. And perhaps we will talk about some of those games as games that could be potential ports to the Switch, assuming that Nintendo's going to carry on that behaviour and that pattern. But for now, thank you all for watching, and until next time, keep it geeky.
Geeky.